Hello, all my relatives, and I say it that way because I think there's a couple of things that are important here. First of all, the environmental justice movement started with people of color, and I think it's appropriate to kind of infuse a little bit of that into these types of proceedings, even though I know that the EPA has since expanded the definition of what constitutes environmental justice. So, I welcome the participation and input of all the rural residents who are here today. And I want to especially applaud the mothers who brought their children to this important hearing. I think that this is critical information that we're hearing firsthand, some of it for the first time. And I'm hoping that somehow we can continue to build a movement so that we have clean, safe air and water here in rural Minnesota. I want to begin by just giving a little bit of historical perspective. My name is Robert Shimek. I am the Special Projects Coordinator for the Indigenous Environmental Network, and we are headquartered out of Bemidji, Minnesota, and we do international work on issues of environmental justice in Indian country, kind of in a lot of places. My own personal introduction, contact with pesticides, goes back to about 1969 and 1970 to a chemical that on the can, and I remember these numbers because I could walk past this shed and I could see them all the time. 2,4,5-T. Anybody know what that is? It's AKA Agent Orange. It was the same time, same period that was being used in the jungles of Southeast Asia. My dad had a contract to spray township roads to keep the brush from growing over so that the roads could thaw out quicker and dry out faster in the spring or after a rainstorm. So I used to come in literally soaked to the chest in Agent Orange. But I too was raised in the era where we were taught pesticides are safe, that they're supposed to stay where they are applied, and that it was no problem. That was then. Over the last couple of years, I worked with Connie Minowa from Eagle on a healthy school projects, and we implemented the project at the Pine Point School. And we've just gone through this huge process of, auditing the cleaning chemicals, the solvents, the cleansers, the energy consumption, the waste stream, kind of this whole process. To not only make the school more efficient, but also to hopefully improve indoor air quality for the children that were attending that school. And we were nearly at the conclusion of that project. I think it was a state-funded project. We were nearly at the conclusion of that project, and we were standing outside the school one day and looking right across the street. And you could stand on this stage and throw a rock and hit the back wall. That's about how far away this potato field was from the school. And I told her then, I said, Connie, we just did all this work to make this a safer and a healthier and a more energy efficient building for our children to go to school. But I feel like we can't stop, because out in the middle of that field there, there's the center pivot irrigation system with 2 chemical tanks. He installed one drift catcher right at the air intake where that building breathes. That's that's where we installed the drift catcher, because we wanted to know if this stuff was going inside the school. And we got hits of agricultural chemicals off that. Just going to mention a conversation we had here with Mr. Lemont earlier this spring when we were first talking about doing this. I asked him when we were standing in the yard at the Pine Point School. No, we weren't either. We were standing at the laundromat because it was pouring rain that day. But we've been up and looked at the school, and he understood the situation and the proximity of the school to this field. And I asked him, what is a reportable incident? You know, how can we, you know, what constitutes something that you want us to call you about? And, you know, he essentially said, well, if you can feel droplets of the pesticide landing on your skin, or if you see droplets of the pesticide on the side of the building, then give us a call. Well, we can't quite do that at White Earth, because White Earth is one of probably the only reservation in the state of Minnesota that has delegated authority from the US EPA for pesticide regulation, oversight, and enforcement. Basically, you know, the same capacity as Mr. Lemont's program, but we only have one person. And we have a huge reservation with a lot of farming, so it's kind of like Mission Impossible over there. We know that pesticides are all over the world, including in, you know, that the HVAC system on the Pine Point School is breathing pesticides into the building. We know they don't stay where they are applied, and that there's a number of other concerns related to that. Part of it being, I mean, you know, the good news is we had relatively low levels of detection, or what we thought are, you know, relatively low levels of detection. But as been stated earlier by Mr. Tucker, a lot of the long-term, chronic, low-level exposure are not well understood. In other words, if you're living in this stuff for 5 or 6 or 7 months out of the year, even if we're getting low doses, tiny amounts, not taking a shower in it, as Mr. Lemont has expressed, or in my case, when I was getting soaked by the Agent Orange, I think we have a lot of work to do in terms of how do we get to understand the effects. I just want to close by saying, I know the EPA has been brought up numerous times in the course of this testimony. I truly believe, you know, that the rules we have now are the best that can be bought and paid for by the chemical industry. That's what the EPA promulgates. You know, I truly believe that, you know, by design, we do not know the answers to a lot of the more difficult questions about pesticide exposure to our land, our water, our air, our children, our unborn children, our future generations. And that I truly believe that the state can and should take action to stop this chemical trespass into our land, air, water, and our bodies. And I want to just close with a quote, a brief quote that was made by an indigenous gentleman some of you may have heard of. It was a statement he made during the 1855 signing of the Point Elliott Treaty in the area which is now known as Seattle, and of course, you know, this city was named after Chief Seattle. And what he said was, the earth does not belong to man, man belongs to the earth. This we know. All things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected Whatever befalls the earth befalls the people of the earth. Tribe follows tribe, and nation follows nation, like the waves of the sea. It is the order of nature, and regret is useless. Your time of decay may be distant, but it will surely come. For even the white man whose God walked and talked with him as friend to friend cannot be exempt from the common destiny. We may be brothers after all. We will see. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort to come up here. Thank you.